I'm Jesas Ogeti Motachi, TED/8519. Today's video, I'm going to talk about technology trip to Tech 400. It was a trip to Kisumu, but due to Corona challenges, the trip was taken virtually. So today I'm going to talk about in various areas under review. We have the computer section. The computer section, we're going to talk about the SCADA system, the supervisory control and data acquisition, and also in computer we are going to talk about the industrial Internet of Things. Then from there we're going to talk about electrical and electronics. So under there we are going to talk about electrical generation and also the coal power plant. Under electrical and electronics option technology, we are also going to talk about motor manufacturing. So we are going to start by talking about the supervisory control and data acquisition. Here, the SCADA is a system that aims at monitoring and controlling the field devices at the remote sites. For example, it can be used to detect faults in a factory setup. Also, it helps in maintaining efficiency by collecting and processing real-time data. The main goal of SCADA is to monitor and control equipment in the industrial process for companies in public and private sectors. Okay, next, we watched the video about the Internet of Things, and in Internet of Things we talk about cloud computing and also the edge computing. We also talked about the comparison between the two, and in cloud computing, so that information has to pass through the cloud and then to where it's supposed to be. And where we found edge computing over a solution to the challenges faced, since it helps the Internet of Things devices process some data locally instead of sending it to the cloud edge computing. So we also saw that edge computing is cost-effective way to utilize the Internet of Things at scale without running at the risk of data breaches or network overload. Additional edge computing over a large reliance redundance for mission risk tasks. And we saw also the video provided over such as insights for application of edge computing in manufacturing. So we move to electrical and electronics, my area of specialization, where we talk about electrical generation as our first topic under electrical and electronics technology. Under this area, we talked about electrical generation. Electrical generation is one of the three key components that make up our national electrical industry. We have transmission, where moving electricity across high voltage lines from generating plants to communities. We also talked about distribution, which is the delivery of electricity to homes or you can say customers. We also saw that electricity is produced when mechanical energy is harnessed and used to rotate turbines. So the mechanical energy is to spin the turbines. So that's where you find electrical energy is started from the dams, where the waterfalls are used to turn the turbines, and the mechanical energy is converted to electrical energy by use of the turbines. You also talk about the windmills and many others. So the mechanical energy is used to spin the turbines from a variety of sources, including foreign water, wind, steam, from heat generated either by nuclear reaction or by burning forces. In video 2, we talked about the coal-fired power station. The coal-fired station, we saw that it's a thermal power station which burns coal to generate electricity. So when coal is burned, the electricity is generated. Most industries, we saw that they like using coal because it's cheap to acquire. So the coal-fired power stations generate over a third of the world's electricity. And as we have said, the coal, when it's burned, it produces electricity. Let's go through a few procedures. So coal-fired plants produce electricity by burning coal in a boiler to produce steam. The steam produced, when the steam is produced under tremendous pressure and flows into a turbine, which spins a generator to create electricity. So the steam is then cooled, condensed back into water, and returned to the boilers. To start the process, hover again, and the process continues. And in video 3, the last one, we also talked about the electrical modern manufacturing. We talked about basic manufacturing processes for electric and DC motors, undertaken in several phases. Within each phase, 3 are significant variables, each depending on the manufacturing equipment, size and variety of parts, electricity, efficiency, requirements, and the economics. We also saw how the motors are applied to our day's activities. So, in conclusion, we can summarize the Tech 400 videos by saying that SCADA systems are electric critical for maintaining safety and efficiency of many industrial processes, and they are widely used in a variety of industries, including energy, transportation, manufacturing. However, they can also be vulnerable to cyber attacks, and security in important consideration according to their design and implementations. Secondly, we are talking about the Internet of Things. So here we talked about the edge computing, which have a significant impact on a wide range of industries. These technologies have transformed the way business operate, deliver services, improving efficiency, reducing costs, increasing sustainability. As the technologies continue to evolve, we can expect to see even more innovative applications and use cases in the years to come. In electrical and electronics option, we talked about electrical generation, which is a critical component in modern society in providing power for homes, businesses and industries. However, it's also environmental and social impacts such as air, water pollution, greenhouse gas emissions, and many more. We also talked about the coal-fired power station, which have a range of environmental, healthy, and economic concerns that need to be addressed. They also include impacts on quality water sources, land use, global climate change, while fired power stations have played a significant role in electricity generation. Finally, we are going to conclude with the motors. And motors, in our daily lives, we rely on them in many different ways. We rely them in transportation, industry, household appliances, and medical equipment. Motors, power machines, equipment make our lives more easier and more comfortable. Without motors, many of modern convention and technologies may take for granted could be possible, and we could be limited in the ability to perform daily activities. So we can conclude that electricity is very important in our lives. So especially the motors, we apply them in many areas and many industries. You can apply them in the transport industry, the health industry, and even homes. We need electricity. And we also say coal is cheaper. When we burn coal, we generate electricity. So by watching the two videos of computer, under computer, we learn that technology makes things easier and effective. And we also, under electricity, we see that generation of electricity has helped us more in industries, economically, especially in generating power. So we should also look at the environmental part global warming by looking the efficient measures how to generate the electricity to avoid the global warming, the greenhouse effect. Those are the effects of the systems. So I can say that we come to an end of this video. Thank you for watching.